apropos of the story that I just told you about Ayn Rand and the libertarians and cruelty. Jennifer Rubin in the Washington Post, former Republican, conservative columnist in the Washington Post. Her headline today is Jon Stewart shows Democrats how to respond to GOP cruelty. I mean, there's just like a consensus across America that cruelty is a feature, not a bug, in the GOP. Speaking of which, Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana, died, a week or two ago at her home in Los Angeles. She fell and apparently died from the fall. In fact, apparently she was rather disabled, had a hard time walking, and fell down a flight of stairs and died. And so Donald Trump petitioned the state of New Jersey to turn his golf course into a cemetery. And the state went along with it. And the Trump golf course on the first hole now features Ivana Trump's grave. And not just that, it's like pathetic. I mean, there's this little tiny tombstone that says Ivana Trump and gives the year that she was born, the year she died, and that's it. No kind words about her, no statue, it didn't even put grass, didn't put sod on top of the grave. It's like he turned it into a sand trap. Or I think it's called a hazard. I don't play golf, so it's, whatever it is. But it's a brand spanking new plot. But what's really interesting about this, and the internet has been all over this over the last 2 days, is that by converting his golf course or part of his golf course into a cemetery, number one, he no longer has to pay property tax. Number two, he doesn't have to pay any sales tax or income tax on any money he earns from that property. Now, we haven't, to the best of my knowledge, nobody has figured out whether his entire Bedminster golf course is now classified as a cemetery and thus tax-free, or whether it's just the first hole, or how much of it, we don't know. But he's using his wife's death to avoid taxes, 3 different kinds of taxes: sales tax, income tax, and property taxes. And also, another little twist that I caught is that under New Jersey law, cemeteries are exempt from bankruptcy proceedings. So if Trump goes into bankruptcy and somebody tries to seize his golf course in New Jersey, they can't do it because it's got a cemetery in it, and cemeteries can't be seized during bankruptcy. This is so that, cemeteries don't go away, right? Because you've buried people there. This is just astonishing to me. What's also equally astonishing to me is that his kids went along with it. I mean, they came for the funeral on the first hole of the golf course. It's just, I mean, what does this say about this man? And how can these maggots continue to follow him with, just the bizarre behavior, all for the money? Trump once said, and it's in my article on Ayn Rand, Trump once said, I've been greedy my whole life.